Every election in this country, about 1 in 5 people, or roughly 20% of the population, will say, if insert politician they don't like wins, then I'm leaving the country. Which means that roughly every single election cycle, 2.3 million Australians, or roughly half of Sydney, should be leaving the country. But in classic Aussie, can't be bothered to do anything style, we instead think, Jesus, I hope no one remembers my pledge. Then I'd have to do something. Doing stuff. The Aussie version of kryptonite, which is known on the Melbourne Bitter periodic table as anti-Vegemite. Where's the salt? I gotta sprinkle it on me head to fix the car. I'm personally not one of those people. I love living here. What other country on the planet can you get on a bus without a shirt on and the bus driver will say to you, hey, put some shoes on in my bus. Oh, what are you gonna do about it? You can't get up, mate. He's right. My veins have infused with the chair. I'm no longer a man on a bus. I'm a bus man. I don't care who's in charge of this country. You could capture Ho Chi Minh's soul, put it in Doraemon's body, so there's a blue cartoon cat that's enslaved us all, declaring, everyone get back to work. Farm me some catnip, please. Not a fan of this forced labour, but you gotta love the fact that it's Australian made. Yep, gotta love that. So this is a new segment for those millions of other Australians, which we'll occasionally wander back to, and it's entitled, Yes I will, I'll move too. And pack your bags, because this week we're going to Central America. Yeah? Well, where's my plane ticket? Could you imagine if you took that seriously? Taking up just 0.03% of the Earth's land mass, ranking it in the top 10 of those pathetic little countries that remind you of being 7 and stepping on ant-mounds yelling, Ants! Ants! Costa Rica packs a serious punch for its size, home to an incredible 6% of the Earth's biodiversity, effectively making it Mother Nature's Clint's Crazy Bargains! It's got everything you need. However... Yeah, sorry, we're gonna have to go through that inevitable downer, which you always hear when discussing natural habitats post-Captain Planet. Sadly. After World War II, 80% of this country was deforested, with 60% of that land being used to graze cattle exclusively. But here's where the story takes a sudden turn for the best. Costa Rica, in the space of 2 decades, has 180'd from being one of the most trash nations on the planet to ranking in the top 5 of the world's Environmental Performance Index. It's currently 54th. But that's only because they started to include water quality last year, and of course their treatment facilities are going to be crappy. They're a developing nation. So let's go with 2012's measure. That is like Nepal becoming the Argentina of soccer by 2034. I kick the ball over the Himalayas every day, man. Maybe we should forfeit, save ourselves the embarrassment. Top 5. Costa Rica's gone from having forest coverage as low as 15% by some estimates to 52% in the space of 20 years. It's the New Economics Foundation's greenest and happiest country on Earth, as opposed to its lesser celebrated title in the 80s, which was John Kirk's Furniture Mini Store. That's right. All of Costa Rica is still smaller than our Maryland's complex, which gets a 2.6 star rating on Google. There wasn't enough range. It's also one of the richest nations in Central America, beating most of its neighbors combined, and all of these points, economic prosperity, beating the United States in life expectancy, being the happiest nation on the planet, all of these societal benefits are directly linked to the fact that they take care of their environment. In fact, not only do they take care of it, they improve it. I know this is a space-agey sounding concept, but farms and nature have become one. A lot of this is stemmed from Costa Rica's Forest Law 7575, but in recent times, the Costa Rican government has declared that it's going to be carbon neutral by 2021. In the process, they've just casually revolutionized agriculture. The difference between what they're doing and what the vast majority of the rest of the planet is doing is like us being medieval peasants pining over our oxen. Quick, Betsy, we've got to plow this field before spring, girl. Nah, I think I'll just do a shed. Yes, a pillow! And owning tractors. Something that you can't reason with or bargain with. It's just there to show. And so now that I've exaggerated the difference way too much, please prepare to be disappointed as we step into the eco-farm of tomorrow. Some crop farms there are 50% forest, and despite them having half the land to grow their produce on, output has increased 20%, which is, admittedly, due to slave labour.
Cute slave labour.
With over 100 species of birds picking at them day in, day out. You don't have to give these employees holidays, or they won't complain to a work ombudsman if you decide to dip them in gold and use them as a snitch as you play Quidditch. And then the bats take over the international student shift, otherwise known as nighttime, meaning these farmers have 24-hour pest control on their crops, coupled in with the hundreds of species of bees and wasps pollinating the crops and the rainforest producing fertilizer for not $19.95, not even $9.95, but absolutely free! It's so rich in nutrients it beats most store-bought brands anyway, to the point that even Peter Crundle would admit.
No, there's something better than blood and bone. Ruined!
Trees are used as fences, which are stronger and last longer than dead wood anyway, because instead of having dead organisms plonked in the ground, you have living, breathing, real-life ants all in a line holding up against cattle shouting.
Hold the line!
Now, as a result of the Costa Rican government's policies, ecotourism is one of their biggest industries, with rural communities able to send their children to universities for the first time ever. And because those kids have knowledge of what plants can be used for medicinal purposes in that area, Costa Rica is now leading the region in medicinal research as well. And agriculture, responsible for 40% of the nation's carbon footprint, will be carbon neutral within 6 to 7 years, with the coffee industry already receiving this certification. And the average farmer who employs these strategies makes $60,000 more than his neighbour. In regards to their electric grid, it's already 99.2% renewable. Every single facet of their society has improved dramatically, essentially because the farmers became hippies. Who'd have thought that the greatest economic bite in our society is probably not some suit in the CBD? It's probably some stoner in Nimbin who, if he ever says to you,
I think we should all replace mathematics in the school curriculum with a bongo circle because...
Let him finish the thought, no matter how long the pause is, because it turns out he was right.
Many does grow on trees.
Please press the subscribe button now.
Come on.